It's time to jump into the luxury imports of Bowling Green, BMW, Mercedes, Sports Webb, with your host Brian Webb on ESPN Radio 102.7. Starring Vegas Frank with Against the Odds, brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill presents WKU Lady Toppers golf coach and PGA teaching professional Adam Garret in Gary on the Green. The Good Fit with Jeremy Harris. Sports Web baseball analyst Danny Hartung from First Step Orthotics. WKU Sports Analysis with Garrett Browning, featuring the Culver's Player of the Week for high school athletics. All phone interviews via the Linex of Bowling Green Hotline. And now from ESPN Radio 102.7, here's your host, Brian Webb.
Sports Web on your radio. Get caught in the web with Garrett Browning and Danny Hartung. Man, a lot to jump into. Got a great show tonight, guys. Not Danny Vito Tisdale on the show. The man is amazing. He went off. PRP didn't even. They couldn't even smell the end zone the other night.
Yeah, I know. I was actually working the East Greenwood game. I was looking for a score on that game, and my buddy Joe Brunk actually sent it to me on Twitter, so I appreciate that. But 56-0. I was surprised immensely as soon as I saw that because BG's talented. But a PRP, they're usually a tough test out of Louisville.
They just contested a state tournament just a few years ago. I mean, that's
and don't forget the greatest Hilltopper wide receiver of all time, a PRP native. That is Taywan Taylor.
Taywan Taylor
got a grab or two the other day, didn't he? I know he caught one.
I was half paying attention. I know he took the kickoff back to start the game. Well, not obviously for a touchdown. He just took the kickback. But besides that, I didn't see too much action.
Well, I went there too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Bratcher went there too.
Bratcher did go to PRP.
Well,
he did.
That's the most.
That's the most famous. Yeah, that's the biggest
famous
celebrity out of PRP for sure. Man, lots of news breaking. We got quarterbacks down. We've got. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on in the NFL week 2. I mean, we've been sitting there talking about. This is a good segue. Get ready for your bye week. Don't say bye-bye to your league because
it's too early to panic right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be panicking, but
there's 14 weeks left, guys.
Unless you're the Jets or the Dolphins.
Push the Jets. Push the help button.
Well, how long's mononucleosis out for? I mean, really? What is it? 3, maybe 4, maybe?
I'm hearing 6, possibly.
I guarantee it probably won't be past week 5. But come on.
I mean, when they say his name, Darnold, I immediately see a biohazard suit.
I like him, though. The guy's a good quarterback. He really is.
He's not bad.
I drafted him, actually.
Yeah, no, he's not bad.
But because he's coming around, but, what's he? Week 2, he's sick. Week 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe back week 6.
I'm just trying to imagine, having mononucleosis and having... the Patriots D-line or Ed Oliver on the Bills,
don't
just
breathe on me.
Absolutely sack me into the turf, and how rough that would actually feel on my body.
Maybe it's contagious for a broken ankle. I don't know, because that's what happens.
Poor Trevor Simeon hasn't taken a sack or hasn't taken a snap
2 years.
In 2 years and just gets murdered. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, he came down on it hard, too. Underneath him, and he landed on it.
I think Greg Williams left over a little of his bounty gate on that Browns defense. I mean, there were some rough after-the-play hits.
You're absolutely right. And ODB kind of called it, but,
ODB. I like that more than OBJ.
Yeah.
We can't even say ODB's actual rapper name on air. We'll get kicked off.
Of course we will.
Funny.
But OBJ, that was such a great quote. Greg Williams, Odell who?
Yeah.
It's what's the correct thing to say when you get in that press conference? Oh, he's a dynamic football player. We're going to do our best to lock him up, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
No, who is
That's
this
why
guy?
You don't say that. That's exactly why you don't say that.
Exactly. The guy went off, though, man. Odell went off last night, man.
He did well.
Mercy sakes.
He did really well.
But
it was a big weekend. But, I mean, you got Breeze out for, not the whole season.
6 weeks.
So that's good.
6 weeks. That's a ligament damage deal. He'll be back probably week 7. It's a hard thing for the Saints, man, because you know what? Teddy Bridgewater is an excellent backup. But he's another one that hasn't
taken.
Yeah,
back. They'll be using those two guys.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
They'll be breaking out Wildcat a couple of more times a game.
A lot of that.
Exactly. Some Wildcat thing will be a lot of fun. But
I mean, he plays tight end too. He's in there blocking half the time.
But you got guys that are going to be starving out there, like Michael Thomas. I mean, he's going to be starving.
So Thomas actually really did well on Sunday. He got like 24 fantasy points because I have him. But
that's what it's all about.
Those catches, he's going to rack up 8 catches a game almost no matter what.
He's going to get his targets. But you're talking about the long ball guys that are, the Tre'Quan Smiths and like that. Those are the guys that are going to be hurting. And look at Kamara didn't do a dang thing at all, man. He was just a stink hat.
He hasn't done much.
I'm surprised you only say 5 to 6 weeks for Drew Brees, because when you saw that video of him trying to pick up the football, immediately as you see that, I just think like 10 weeks, 12 weeks. It looks so serious, but
that ligament damage. The thing is, it's a quick fix
fast
on
healer.
That. But it is a fast healer. It's not like a broken bone. It's a fast healer ligament. They tie those together on those ligament damage things. They'll keep it
like
3 weeks.
Scout knot
3 weeks, not move. They'll keep
Eagle Scout. Put an Eagle Scout knot.
I don't think that's what the Eagle Scouts
exactly, or a square knot or whatever. But they'll keep it immobile for 3 weeks, and then they'll start PT in 3 weeks. So I mean, it's not a bad healer. The guy's probably in pretty good shape and probably takes pretty good care of himself. Like it would take me a year to get over it, but. It's just it's not that bad as a broken bone.
Who do you think is in more trouble out of the AFC? Two of their both starting quarterbacks are down, both getting big money. Big Ben for the Steelers, and for the Jaguars, Nick Foles goes down. I think both of those teams both had aspirations of making the playoffs.
Sure
which
they did.
Which one do you think is
Steelers
worse off
Super
now
Steelers,
than before?
Steelers by far.
Steelers
by far. I mean, they're 0-2 now.
They're done. They're done.
You lose Lev Bell.
I mean, Rudolph didn't look awful.
No, he's not horrible, but you lose AB.
Yeah, that's it.
You lose Lev Bell.
And then now all the big three are gone.
And Big Ben are gone.
They're not going to put any points on the board.
That's going to be tough. But, the aspirations for the Jaguars, what's the guy's name? Minshew? Yeah, he didn't play bad.
I like Gardner Minshew.
He didn't play bad.
I thought he was a good manager.
Great mustache, too.
A lot of people think
mustache.
A lot of people think Mason Rudolph can kind of do what Gardner Minshew has kind of done the last 2 games for the Jaguars when he steps in.
Hopefully, and he's not bad. He's a good backup by far, but they got rid of Josh Dobbs.
There's so much difference, though, in being an NFL team that inspires on blowing people out, opposed to, man, I hope we can eke out a game win.
Exactly.
That's a big difference.
That's the Tennessee Titans every week they take the field, Brian.
No, the Titans did not play that badly. I just,
Mariota just
scares me all the time.
He's Jekyll and Hyde.
He really is. He played lights out the first week. Well, of course, we had 3 pick sixes.
Reminds me of Bortles and James a little bit.
Well, where is Blake Bortles when we need
Mariota and Merlot?
Well, the weirdest thing to me was like in the third quarter, at one point he was like 15 of 19 throwing the ball, and he didn't have a lot of yards, but you saw the completion percentage. Yeah. It's just, you got to be able to stretch the field a little bit.
He's not stretching the field. That's it. And, this is where I always have the problem with them. He's doing a lot of check down Charlie things,
Yeah.
And but that feeds Derrick Henry a ton.
It does.
And
Deion Lewis.
He didn't do very well though this week.
He's not going to do a whole lot. He may now.
I think a big thing too is.
But the tight end gets a lot on that too.
Yeah, Delaney,
he's getting a lot this year, and
Corey
he didn't
Davis
do great.
Not being utilized.
Corey Davis, he's not going to throw long. So Corey Davis is the one that's on the outs on there.
He's on the outs.
And Tayshaun Sharp.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Tajay Sharp
and the new A.J.
Tajay,
Brown, who didn't get much action the other night either.
And people picked him up like crazy.
Oh, he was like on fire on the waiver wire.
Him and Marquise Brown from the Washington Redskins.
I
got DJ Shark, which that one.
Oh, that's a great
pickup.
That's
a good pickup because
he's knocking it out of the park.
The guys they're throwing the ball to him, which D.D. Westbrook's getting hosed on that.
Keelan Cole's getting a little hosed.
Yeah. And D.D. Westbrook, too.
Definitely D.D., though. He's the better of the two.
And, hey, do you want to trade for D.D. Westbrook?
Who's got Lamar Jackson?
We're going to have a live trade on the show today.
I don't.
Danny said not to panic. It's only week 2.
It's only week 2.
And that's true in fantasy, unless your 2 quarterbacks on your roster are Drew Brees and Big Ben.
And I'm pretty
won't say
sure.
who,
Then
but
you have to
I think it
this
happened
room.
to Vegas Frank. We'll find out later when we talk
It's
to him.
the same guys in this room that lost both of them, but I hate to say that. So I digress. I'm going to give you Baker Mayfield.
That's a good start.
And
I got Devontae Freeman on my bench.
and now listen up. All right, I'm going to give you.
I'm running back rich.
I'm giving
so.
you. I'm going to give you Baker Mayfield, and
While you're thinking,
I'm gonna get
while
that.
you're thinking on that,
no, I don't want to get rid of DJ.
while you're thinking on that,
Yeah,
I'm going to put this on the poll on Twitter and have people vote if I should accept Danny's
yeah,
trade.
that's a
or
great
not.
idea.
all right,
Do that.
all right. I'm going to give you.
right, y'all make
Baker
that-
Mayfield and DJ Moore.
He's proposing a trade as
For-
we speak.
Hold on here. I'm
Now,
sorry.
while you're thinking about that, Danny,
Yeah,
let me
I'm sorry.
fill some
Yeah,
air here.
Fill some airtime.
What do you got? I want to get both of your takes. We saw him at Ole Miss. I never thought he would be an NFL quarterback, but he's won 2 Super Bowls. Do you think they did the right thing by benching Eli right now?
Yeah.
They should have done him last year.
They should have done it start week 1.
I mean, really, they should have done it last year. He's, I really do like Eli, and he's won 2 Super Bowls.
He has.
But he's been fading since last year. That ownership there should feel ashamed of themselves.
That team has not been the same since
No.
Coughlin left.
They
really
exactly.
have.
point.
But that they should have been doing something long ago, because he's been failing. I mean, look at last year's team. Right now, they're horrible. And Daniel Jones is a good quarterback.
Well,
I mean, they took him 6th, first-round pick, number 6 overall. The guy can play, but, you know,
He had a
it's
good
time to pass
preseason,
the
too.
torch. And he did. He had a great preseason.
The thing with me is, what was your high point going to be this season with Eli Manning as your quarterback?
None.
It was
7
gonna be,
wins?
No,
7.
not even
7 and 9.
They wouldn't have gotten
Tops.
7 wins. 5 maybe.
I mean, I'm being.
I don't know what Vegas was over and under, but I couldn't think it would
5.
be
I
more
think
than
it
7.
was 7 or 7
We're
and a
being
half.
very generous
Yeah,
with 7
I
wins.
agree.
Yeah, no, that's more than.
So why not just start your rookie quarterback from week 1? Let him. I even heard a mic'd up quote from Pat Shurmur talking to Daniel Jones during a practice, talking about making mistakes. We'll go fix those mistakes. Well, that's fine. If you're going to make mistakes all season with a veteran quarterback, throw your rookie out there. Let him make those mistakes.
Agreed. That's the only way the guy's going to grow up and get his teeth into this league. Getting hit, do this, throwing his picks, throwing a touchdown.
And what if he wins a game?
Yeah.
What if he wins? What if he goes 2-0, builds that confidence?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you
never
have
know,
a
man.
totally different.
He's got
locker room.
weapons, and you got a guy like
look at
Saquon Barkley in the
like,
backfield.
Exactly.
He can get a lot done.
He's got a lot of weapons. And what's his name's Shepard's coming off of
Sterling,
concussion protocol. So I mean, they're all going to come back.
Ingram. I mean, he's
I love
he's got
Ingram.
some
He
players.
does. He's got
man.
some players. And thing is, by God, I bet they could win. They have
I think
not
they'll
a
win
terrible-
more games now than had they kept
I agree.
Eli in the
Totally agree. And I'd like to see an over-under from 14 games on.
I'm with
Except
Garrett,
with
though.
Eli would have
Wrong.
been under
You
center.
should
I
have
have
just
nothing against
started
Eli.
him first game of the season.
Yeah.
Well, I totally agree.
I mean,
with
at least they're not waiting until week 8 or week 9 or
when the
something.
season's
They're
lost
Or
yeah.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
something
the
like that.
season's pretty much lost.
yeah, at least they're still throwing them out there early. But
13% of the Super Bowl winning teams that started 0-2. That's 13. Yeah, they have a 13%
many?
chance.
Oh, 13%?
Yeah, 13%.
I thought that was a making the playoffs.
I believe that's the actual Super Bowl.
Wow.
I may be
Damn.
wrong. It may be the
That
playoffs.
actually is not.
Either way,
that's not
those
that
are
bad.
decent odds. Either way.
I'll take a 1 in 10 chance.
Han Solo says, "Never tell me the odds." Hey, one more before we go to break. Probably the biggest injury around here is Stephen Duncan, and I got a source let me know Sunday night that happened, and I wasn't sure if it was true or not, but it ended up being very much true. And here's the way I look at it: is I like Stephen Duncan. I do. I like the kid. I hate to see him have an injury, but that's because he plays hard and he wanted to beat U of L down there. And we They played some decent football down there. I mean, that's a really good team we're up against, and they really needed to win. But
that's a much different team than last year at Louisville with Bobby Petrino.
Oh, daylight and dark.
Yeah,
I mean, it totally is. But let's ask you this. Who's up? I mean, to me, it's Ty Story that should be getting the call. Veteran quarterback. Not a guy who turns over the ball. That's kind of what we need right now.
I'm a weird guy when it comes to these quarterback injuries because sometimes it just depends on your situation as a team. I think right now, yeah, I would agree Ty Story. But if this Stephen Duncan injury is a little more serious than we think, and it could be a majority of the rest of the season and not just a couple of weeks. I don't know exactly what it was. I think it was a broken bone in his foot, wasn't it?
It's some kind of broken bone in his right foot.
Of course, how many bones are in the foot, Danny? Do you know?
27.
Okay, I knew it. That's why it's great to have an almost MD on the show.
So there are plenty of ones he could have broken. But either way, I think if he's hurt for a majority of the season, I'd like to see him go to a younger quarterback. Maybe throw Shanley out there.
Skip over and go to Shanley?
Because I think the graduate transfer route is good, but I think...
But who's been the guy in practice getting the most reps other than Duncan?
Well, and what's the point if you're going to finish with 4 or 5 wins with the senior quarterback that's going to leave after the season and you're not going to gain any experience for any of the other guys on the roster? But for right now, with what is, as of right now, listed as like 3 to 4 weeks, I think is what Coach Helton said the other day. So I still think Ty Story, because he could win you the most games with his experience. I mean, he played in SEC games in Arkansas, whether they were a losing team or not. He got that experience. So,
he played against some boys.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a tough division to say the least. As long as you're not in that East, right?
Stay out of the East.
All right, I found this stat real quick before we clear it up. Since 2002, when the expansion took place, 14 out of 133 that started 0-2 have made the playoffs. So 11%.
Oh,
that's still not that bad of a ratio.
Not terrible. Chew on that, and we'll take a quick break. How's that sound?
That sounds good. I was ready to ramble more, Brian.
Well, I'm always ready to ramble, Garrett. We could do it all day long, and don't go anywhere. Lord, I was born a rambling man. Come right back. It's the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7.
How much were your heating costs last winter? I'm sure too much. Mike Keith here to tell you how to heat your home for just $600 a year. Trust the experts at Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill to transform your old fireplace into a stunning source of heat with brand names such as Yodel, Fireplace Extraordinaire, Avalon, and Lopi, the Cadillac of fireplaces. Lopi's Cape Cod is the world's cleanest burning wood stove with unbelievable hybrid fire technology. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, just off the bridge on Old Louisville Road. BowlingGreenFireplace.com.
The U.S. Army is offering up to $65,000 in student loan reimbursement as a new enlistment incentive. The program is available for nearly 50 different occupations, covering both full-time and part-time careers in the U.S. Army and Army Reserve. The total amount of loan reimbursement varies depending on the length of the individual's enlistment contract. For more information, talk to your local Army recruiter or check us out online at www.goarmy.com.
2020 sounds good at Luxury Imports of Bowling Green. Whether it's a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, hear the engine on a test drive and you'll pick up a roaring 20 for yourself. Or maybe one of the last 18s and 19s with special deals and financing to close out the year. Everyone has a dream car, and now bring it home. If Luxury Imports doesn't have your new or pre-owned BMW or Mercedes on the lot, management will find it and bring it. Be free to BG. Luxury Imports of Bowling Green, 325 Three Springs Road. Online at luxuryimportsofbowlinggreen.com.
Man, that looks rough. That one got whacked good.
Yeah, I do know I'm getting sick of cleaning it up.
But it's all about the pay in the long run, right?
Yeah, you're right, but it'd be easier the quicker to go out and take us to Linex of Bowling Green.
Well, in the end, it's all about getting those hogs delivered, right?
You're right, but it sure is a mess. Forget about it.
Keep your bed easy to clean with Linex of Bowling Green. Truck accessories and more. Linex of Bowling Green on Louisville Road, Porter Pike intersection.
This is Mike Keith, voice of the Tennessee Titans, and you're listening to the Sports Web at ESPN Radio 102.7.
Hey, thanks for coming on back with us in the studio. Danny, The Limb.
What's going on?
Hartung. First step. Garret Browning. Brian Webb here. Man, I tell you what, we had a fun weekend of football, but we got to realize basketball is creeping
just
up on
around
us.
the corner.
Are the Huskers going to be okay this year? Are they going to win a game?
Hoops.
Yeah,
Hoops?
Hoops.
I don't know.
I don't even care.
They're 2-1 in football, so it's,
That's a good start for the
yeah.
Huskers.
I mean, we're 0-6 going into last year, so it's
Anything was
things are looking up.
improvement.
4 more games, baby. We got a bowl, so
And you probably get it.
and we're playing Illinois this week, so.
I sent Danny a hot dog and a bag of potato chips for Baker Mayfield in fantasy
With
football.
condiments.
Let's see if he accepts.
Let's
Let's
look
hear
at
this
right
trade
right
live.
now. We're going to do this
guys.
right now here.
I heard DJ Moore's name.
And
We got Moore and Mayfield for
Who's gonna
Tyler
throw it to him? Newton's
Boyd
hurt.
and Devontae Freeman because I have 0 quarterbacks currently on my roster.
How do
So
I do
I
this?
have
I'm
two.
looking
I have
here. How do I do
Cousins
this here?
and Rogers on my team. Folks, get ready for your bye week. That'll be coming up here real soon. And if you've got some injuries going into this thing, you might want to hit that waiver wire, make a trade like these two guys are doing right
I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
Baker hasn't been too hot either the first 2 games.
He doesn't look horrible.
He's due.
I don't know what it is. I think
trade.
it's all the commercials and the all the fanfare.
Hey,
I think he gets
that
his
mowing
head
his
a little
own
bit.
lawn, though, that's pretty good.
I like that one.
And here it is. Except
Nothing's better than the KFC Rudy commercials. I mean, that is the best.
I'm so young, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that's right. If you haven't seen Rudy,
I've seen Rudy.
Okay.
Just
Well, they've got
chill,
commercials.
bro.
He is now the Colonel, so that's pretty funny. Folks, don't forget, coming up later, Vegas Frank, Adam Gary, the Lady Tops have been on a tear, man. They got 3rd down there. We'll hear from him on that.
There have been lots of lady tops on the tear. Volleyball, soccer.
I mean, dude, we got the best athletes on the slate, that's for sure. Danny, let's talk a little Major League Baseball, man. First of all, some news coming out of the Pirates organization. Alleged Vasquez has allegedly done something you shouldn't do.
Felipe Vasquez.
What's up?
He needs to check his beer goggles out before he starts laying with young ladies because this guy was 13 years old.
That is just, listen, I don't
sick.
care if you've been on it. I don't care if you're an athlete or,
Yeah,
you're changing oil somewhere or you've been in a desert island
Lock
for
him
5
up.
years
Lock
and you
him
haven't
up.
seen a person, you still should know
This
better.
is in Florida, and I don't care where it was. Lock this guy up because that's just unacceptable in any genre, any part of the country, anywhere.
gosh,
Thailand, China,
I don't
United
care where
States,
you're at,
Europe.
man.
It doesn't make any difference.
Wrong is wrong,
Wrong is wrong,
man.
and that is sick. But we don't even want to dwell on that because the thing is the guy needs to go to jail.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go on a big tangent because there's too many good guys in baseball right now. But they're locking them down. They locked down Trout for the rest of the
I
year.
saw that. No more Trout.
Mercy sakes, Yelich is down for the rest of the year.
And the Brewers went red hot.
Yeah. And the Brewers, I don't understand that team. They just
No
I
one
understand
ever
that
has.
city.
don't understand them, But St. Louis has still got a game and a half on Chicago. Chicago just went 1 game up on for the wild card.
That's a tight race.
Took out the Reds last night.
We got 2 clinchers already. We got the Dodgers and we got the Braves.
I made this point on my show yesterday that I had 0 idea that Cole Hamels was still pitching in the major leagues. How old is Cole Hamels?
Well, Hamels is dealing, baby. He's still dealing. He's probably 32.
Really? Hey, he must have been super young when
Yeah,
he
he was-
started coming
It was
on
like
for
one of
those
those
Phillies,
19 or
man.
20
He was
year olds.
22, 23 years old when he started.
Man, I used to
When he
think he
started
was
with
like
Philly.
28 back then.
No, when he was with Philly, he was probably 22.
I thought this
23 years
man
old.
was 42 years old out there going
is.
7-7
Joe Lewis,
with the Cubs.
137 years
Dude,
old.
he's Joe Lewis, 137.
The Rays, they're in a little bit of trouble. They're at the LA Dodgers right now, and they're only a game on the wild card
behind
in the
Oakland. Yeah,
Yep.
right behind Oakland, but,
and only a game up on the Indians.
exactly. And I think Minnesota is going to pull this out and clinch the division here. But they have like 9 games before they can do. There's still 18 games left. So, but Houston will clinch here in probably the next 48 hours. But them and the Yankees tied for the best 99 and 53 right now is what they both are. So
Who's going to be in the World Series?
Houston.
Just tell me now.
Houston and Atlanta. I'd love to see that one.
That would be very, very fun to see.
Or Los Angeles. You can't.
What a
leave the
young
Dodgers
team
out.
for the Braves that in 2 years
that
to
would
take
be
it from
wonderful.
0 to hero.
Actually, that would be just wonderful to see.
That would be sweet.
I'd love to see Atlanta,
Gives
Houston.
you hope for all the free agency and
Exactly.
all. So, I mean, it makes you think. Well, maybe it's not too bad.
They only have like 4 guys on Atlanta over 28 years
Because
old.
it would take a while
yeah.
for a team to develop and make a run like that.
But with Albies and all those guys, they're just playing their guts out. And I just really think I'd love to see them. I'm not a Dodger hater, but I'd love to see Atlanta in it, just personally.
Out of the wild card teams right now, not those division winners, presumable division winners, out of some of those wild card contenders, who do you think has the most viable chance to make a run?
Actually, Tampa Bay. Personally, Tampa Bay I think is a good one, and the Cubs.
Yeah,
I
Chicago
would say
for sure.
Chicago, definitely. Chicago and Tampa Bay. I don't have much trust in Oakland's pitching personally, but I'd rather have the pitching arms of Tampa Bay than Oakland.
They've got guys coming back from injury too.
Actually,
Finally,
Glasnow's throwing again.
Snell is back.
And Snell's back, and Yarborough's throwing like a madman. So I really like the way they're peaking
like
right
a
now.
pack of Yarboroughs.
Yeah,
Smoking like a pack
Reds.
of Yarboroughs.
Yarborough Red, baby.
Hey, real quick, let's close up with Titans at Jaguars, Thursday Night Football. Garrett, I mean, here's the thing. There's no way the Titans should go into that game and lose that game with who knows if Jalen Ramsey's even going to play. Who cares? But I just don't see Minshew taking these guys to the ropes when you got Derrick Henry sitting over there and all the guys we talked about.
Thanks to my father, these are some betting updates for you for entertainment
let's hear it.
purposes
Let's hear
only.
it.
The Titans currently a 1-point fave.
I saw that earlier.
And 40 points total, the lowest of any game the entire weekend.
And it won't get there. It's
going to be pretty sloppy.
12-6 is what it's going to be.
Nah, but
I want it, Danny. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I did a thing that win Terry Bradshaw's money. Did you see that? It's
Terry's money.
It's Fox deal. It went $250,000, but it's $25,000 a week, and it was for Thursday night game, and they showed what was going to be the total score of the first quarter. Is it going to be 6-9, 9-12, or something like that, or 22 and over? I put 6-9.
Oh heck yeah, dude! If they get to 15 the first half, I would be surprised.
I would too. I mean,
they're
both good teams.
Henry could go off, but they got a good D.
Those are
and so do
both
the Titans.
good defense,
I mean, they both got good D.
The only chance of it being over that 40 in total is if Derrick Henry has one of those rushing games where it's 20 carries, 160 yards, couple touchdowns.
Like last year, he had like a big 99.
Because that's going to open the door up for Mariota to throw out of what's going to be a really tough Jags defense, but Derrick Henry, he's known to gash him.
Good time to give my girl Erica Wilson a shout out. I know she's feeling down a little bit probably from this weekend's festivities, but keep your head up. You'll get a win Thursday night, Erica. I'm telling you right now.
She keeps me inspired for sure with these Titans.
21-7 will be your final.
You heard it here.
Okay, I like that. I'll give me the Titans, of course. Give me 28-0.
Ooh,
I want a shutout. I want
hot take.
Mariota 2 touchdowns, Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns. It's dominant.
There's steam coming out of your Devil Rays hat.
Back on the winning track.
I'm going to do a 15-10.
Yeah, that's you're probably the closest.
15-10
You're probably the
Titans.
closest.
I'm sorry.
Titans, absolutely.
Didn't mean to say it. I meant to make that clear.
I want to make that
15-10
clear.
Titans. Jalen Ramsey is going to get a trade somewhere too.
Luxury Imports of Bowling Green, folks. That's our sponsor for the show. Get over there, Garrett. I'd like to see you driving a 300 series. C5.
You co-financing with me?
I wouldn't go that far, but I can definitely help you get in it. Brett Denver will help you get in one over there.
Okay.
Just got a job, don't you? You got 2 or 3. So
fair enough.
Hey, you're good to go, man.
My dad's going to kill you.
Danny, you want to leave us with a final thought? Yeah, Gary's like turning off the radio right now.
Final thought is, gentlemen, when you're at home watching football, be kind to your wives, even when you're losing.
Even when Trevor Siemian breaks his ankle?
Even when Trevor Siemian breaks his ankle.
I wish we had some music to go with.
Be kind to your wives.
Fire crackling in the background.
Bring her
Have you seen the commercial?
And love letters. Because
Saturday night, Sunday morning love letters.
They're the ones that feed you.
ones that cook.
That is all.
Folks, we've had a lot of fun with it, and it made me think of that commercial where, honey, he wakes his wife up, I can taste my beer. Have you seen that? That is hilarious.
I love that.
I've seen that look at 6:30 in the morning. I know we all have. Folks, don't go anywhere. Coming right back with Vegas Frank. Then we'll have Vito Tisdale, BG Purple defensive nightmare out there for opposing teams. And then we'll finish up and hear from Gary on the green for Garret and Danny Hartung. Be right back, 102.7.
Culver's wouldn't be what it is today without the family farms that grow and produce the wholesome, delicious food we so proudly serve. From the cattle ranches of the Great Plains to the dairy farms of Wisconsin and south to Georgia's chicken country, it's important to us to make sure farm families across the nation clearly see how Culver's
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
$200 in chips, please.
Are you a professional?
What's your bet, sir?
Bet.
Hit me.
It's a bust.
Whoa! I am on fire.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
You're a winner!
Against the Odds with Vegas Frank is brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. JBK Network Consulting. We are IP everything. Working with complex organizations to achieve measurable business outcomes is what we do. Let Jim Grant and JBK Network Consulting go to work for you. Call 270-796-8935. Visit JBK Network Consulting at 1143 Fairway Place, Suite 105, and online at jbk.net.
Welcome back. There you go. Vegas Frank against the odds. All the way from sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. Got him on the LineX hotline. LineX Bedliners. Roger, Gina, get over there at Louisville Road. Take care of that bed of that truck. You can also get your whole car done if you want. Vegas Frank, it would be good out there to get that LineX protecting all over your car. And the windows.
We need whatever we can get out here.
I'd say it's dog days of summer about now.
Yeah, it's right about the break. It's teasing as if it's going to cool down, but I mean we're going to get like some high 90s, in the next couple of days anyway. Today's not going to be too bad, but it's going to get warm.
Hey,
still.
90s out there, that's like 70s here, so I'll take it. Frank, man, we had a big weekend of NFL, but before we get there, let's talk about these Hilltoppers and some of their adversity. We've got Stephen Duncan, I think it's a foot or ankle. I'm not really sure, but I heard about it Sunday, and then it broke Monday, and I wasn't sure if what I was hearing was right, but it seems to be, and I'm not sure who's going to be the go-to. I like Ty Story, but we'll see what happens, man. Tops took a one on the chin against the Cards, and they got UAB coming up here in a couple weeks back at LT Smith. We win that one, we're 2-0 in the conference. So, to me, the Louisville game won't really matter other than the injury.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, other than the injury, it bodes well for them that they've got that extra week to prepare against UAB, whatever quarterback is going to be plugged in now to try to put together a different game plan. It really helps just to have this additional week of preparation. Sometimes with the scheduling for a lot of the college teams is that they have a little break in between. So it helps them out that they've got that extra week. Right now, I mean, a little banged up. Yeah, like you mentioned, they took it on the chin from Louisville. Louisville was a little bit, desperate for a win. So, and it showed. There'll be adjustments being made. This is going to be a transition type season. A work in progress as we go.
Sure.
So, yeah. So we'll see.
And then you throw the injuries into the soup, and it's hard to. I feel like Tyson Helton's doing the best job he can do with what he's got, and that's what we want him to do. So, move on and keep doing and keep plugging for the WKU Hilltopper football. It won't be long till we're talking about Stansbury and the basketball at the same time. That's when it really gets exciting. But looking forward to that, too, coming up. But football going to be 2-0, I think, after UAB. That's looking good. UAB down a little bit, so we should be all right, Frank. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, moving on to the NFL. My goodness, talk about injured quarterbacks. Holy cow. Drew Brees, Roethlisberger, this is not good.
One of my fantasy teams, actually, those are my two quarterbacks.
Oh, gosh, that's
so
brutal.
It's kind of funny how that worked out. I said, okay, I'm watching, injury reports and whatnot, and I said, oh, okay, cool, I lost both my quarterbacks the same day. That's great. It's kind of fitting for me, though. I mean, didn't do well on my investments over the weekend,
and
to get to lose both teams, lose both your quarterbacks in the same shot, and that's my son's favorite team is the Saints. So it made it even worse. I mean, he didn't want to talk. I mean, I might as well have, he might as well have been dumped by a girlfriend or something, to top it off, to put a capper on the weekend.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It's wonder your car motor didn't blow up. That would have been the perfect way to end a beautiful weekend.
No, you're absolutely right. These are both veteran quarterbacks. We expect Breeze to be back, and they said timetable is like 6 to 8 weeks. We'll see how that responds. The injury is a thumb on the throwing hand, which is always going to be. They've always got to be cautious. We really don't know how much longer Breeze is going to play. This could have been his last season, so maybe this extends the career for him to play an additional year.
Yeah.
We don't know how he's going to respond. But with Roethlisberger, they're not really bailing. I mean, the Steelers are one of the signature brands of the NFL, and you saw that, later last night, they made the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins. So they're not bailing on the year. They've got this money tied up still from Antonio Brown and from Roethlisberger against the cap for this season. $46 million is going against the cap for those two guys. So they're definitely going to need to make some adjustments in the off season. Maybe move somebody who's a higher casualty during the year so they can get a little bit of relief. But the Steelers aren't moving. They're not going to be moving away or kind of tanking. They're still going to prepare, and it's Rudolph's, not the reindeer, but it's Rudolph's game now to play. We'll see how he adjusts going forward.
Finally gets to play in those reindeer games.
That's exactly right.
What about Gardner Minshew? I mean, you could pick him up for your fantasy. He's not that bad.
No, he isn't. I like him. I'm interested to see what happens Thursday night.
Yeah,
they'll be taking on the Titans. That should be a fun matchup.
Yeah, what's you got the line on that one, Frank?
It's currently Titans at 1.5. Total is a little lower. It's right now about 41.5. You could probably shop it around by the time you get to Thursday night. It'll probably be 45, 44.
That's always like 13
to
9 game or something.
I think it's going to be lower scoring. If you like the over, grab it now.
Yeah, before it goes
I
up.
really don't like the over. I like the under. Yeah. If you like the under, you could wait until Thursday afternoon and then take it, and then pound the under, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored.
Running game.
Two teams that are familiar with each other. Yeah, absolutely.
No, you're right. You alluded to that they're very familiar with each other. And let's go back to last year. I think that's when Derrick Henry had busted that 99-yarder against them. I just feel like the Titans can probably hold on here and get this, back on the tracks, because Vrabel does not like to lose. And you got some trouble, some off-field stuff. Well, it kind of was on-field with Jalen Ramsey the other day, which I'm still not sure what went wrong there, but he's wanting out. So another reason we need to take advantage of the Jaguars right now, when they've got broken quarterback with a young guy in there trying to get it. He's not that young. He's been in the league 3 years or so, but still good opportunity, I think, for the Titans to get one here. I'd take that minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm leaning that direction as well. I would start early as far as the game plan goes. Start early running the ball and kind of start to dictate that pace. You get everybody a little bit more comfortable. Remember, this is a short week, so you don't have a lot of preparation. I mean, they're probably going to be traveling for tonight because the game is Thursday. So, I mean, there's automatically you're implementing your game plan on that short week preparation. It's something they're familiar with playing at Jacksonville, but this short week, it's always weird, to prepare for it early in the season when you don't have a lot of reps with your first and second team, because in the preseason you didn't have a lot of reps. So early in the year, games look sloppy. I mean, that game last Thursday with the Bucks and the Panthers, was sloppy because the teams weren't prepared. It was also sloppy because of lightning and the weather and everything.
Yeah, it
was gross on a lot of levels.
It's almost as gross as the Dolphins.
It's almost as gross as the Dolphins. You're right. The Dolphins are going to be they could be historically bad. I want to just point something out to everybody. As far as an investment standpoint for the betting circles, for people in the books, here in town. We don't see this very often. There are 2 teams this weekend that are favored by 21.5 points.
Wow.
And the 2 teams that are the 21.5-point dogs are in the same division.
Oh, wow.
And I'm speaking about the Dolphins and the Cowboys. They're 21.5-point dogs. And the Patriots and the Jets. The Jets are 21.5-point dogs. It is bizarre. Darnold's still with chicken pox or mono or whatever he's got.
Mono.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It is.
And this division is just kind of brutal, and the sun keeps shining on the Patriots. They plug Brown right in.
I mean, seriously.
He's looking right at home. Everything is sunshine and rainbows.
But how long is he going to be there? How long is he? It is right now for the Patriots. But hey, what's different between now and 17 out of the 20 other seasons that we? But
you're absolutely right.
It's pretty crazy though when you think about how does it line up that good. But my Cowboys are 2-0, so we'll hopefully. We'll keep our train rolling like it is, looking really good. Dak putting up some great numbers. But I tell you, man, I just don't think there's anybody that can beat the Patriots the whole year. I mean, if it stays like this, forget about it, man. You're just not going to beat them.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, you have to play. You know, you look to see when they play and how they're playing when you guys match up. If the Patriots are in a situation to where they're playing a team like the Cowboys, I mean, they wouldn't be playing.
No.
You know, they play during the season, don't they? Play in the regular season?
I think. Do they have a matchup? Oh wow!
I think they play the NFC East.
I should know that, but
yeah, the Patriots and I'm going to check for you right now.
Yeah, man, look that up because
the Cowboys are a team that, like last year, I think it was week 6. By the time they had scored their 9th offensive touchdown, they've already got 9 offensive touchdowns.
That's great.
So, yeah, they play at New England, I think, the week before Thanksgiving. The Dallas plays at New England the week before Thanksgiving.
Nice. Well,
yeah,
let's go in there and thump them.
That's going to be great.
I mean, you know, real quick, we'll finish up with the NFL. Antonio Brown, I mean, where's this going? I mean, is the guy going to be playing? I mean, I don't know. There hasn't been any formal charges, right? I mean,
no formal charges. Something is going to be hashed out because people are going to keep hitting on it, and they're going to be bringing it up at press conferences. It's not a good look for them. It's not a good look for him. I think it's going to get figured out in the next coming weeks. But if you're asking me what my gut reaction is or my gut feeling is, will he play the season and will he finish the season as a Patriot? I say no.
I'm with you. I just don't see how it. Belichick's only going to put up with so much. He's probably already at his. He just got in there and he's probably already redlining right now on what he's going to put up with. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. You know, and it wouldn't break my heart, but I mean, because I don't want the Patriots to be any better than they are, and it looks like with that guy. There's just not really any stopping them with Gordon out there amongst Dorsett, and then you got like 4 running backs he could play at any second. I mean, I don't know, dude. Anything short of Brady getting hurt, which, knock on wood, I wouldn't want to see that, but anything short of him getting hurt, maybe the Cowboys will be their only loss this year when the Cowboys come to town. We'll see. Listening to Vegas Frank Against the Odds all the way from sunny Las Vegas. That's brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. IP everything. Get a hold of Jim Grant over there. Man, I tell you, the board has got to have been crazy, but, man, it's nothing like when you've got NFL, college basketball, college football. I mean, that's the crazy time of the year, and that's coming, man. So looking forward to that. But you might have some MMA to talk about here before we get out of here, Frank.
Well, I mean, we're talking about back to a couple of weeks back when Habib beat Poirier. Now it seems like we're not going to be set up with a rematch for those guys right away, but Poirier might be fighting McGregor if McGregor makes his way back to UFC. What we're hearing is that UFC officials have kind of notified McGregor that if he wants to come back, he won't fight Khabib. He's going to have to fight somebody else before. And then Khabib will be fighting Tony Ferguson, kind of like a unification type bout. There's a fight that we've been waiting for like 2 or 3 years, it seems like. And then Poirier would fight McGregor, and then the winners would fight each other.
Wow.
So we'll see. I mean, one way or the other, if Habib is able to beat Ferguson, which I'm assuming he would, we would get a rematch with Habib and Poirier or Conor. The money fight would be McGregor, but I think the fight fans would probably be more interested in seeing would be Poirier.
Yeah, I think.
But we'll see. We'll
you're right. That makes a lot of sense. Like always, Vegas Frank makes a lot of sense. You can follow him on Twitter. Fun follow there. All right, buddy. Well, listen, it's always fun. Great talking to you. Any kind of oddity or anything crazy you want to drop on us before we get out of here? A little Vegas Frank final thought.
Well, real quick, we're worried about Cliff Kingsbury, the Arizona Cardinals coach, taking risk and whatnot. He's the first coach since 1974. This goes back quite a bit. That was the year I was born. 1974. You have to go back to 1974 to a guy who had 3 drives in the opponent's 5-yard line 3 consecutive times when they were behind, settle for field goals instead of going for touchdowns. This guy's got to ultimately be a risk taker. His quarterback has over 600 yards passing. He's got 1 loss and 1 tie. You got to take risks if you're in the NFL if you want to stick around. Not for long, baby. NFL, not for long.
Not for long. That's totally true. And you can almost transition that over to life itself, man. You risk reward. If you don't take a risk, you're not going to get a reward usually. Frank, always a pleasure, man.
Good talking to you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7.
It's time for the Culver's High School Football Player of the Week. Visit Culver's at 4903 Scottsville Road for some delicious burgers.
Brian Webb with the Sports Web out here in the hallowed halls, close to the weight room, and that's where this guy spends a lot of his time. I'm with the one and only Vito Tisdale, coming off a big win against PRP, a couple of big defensive weeks. I mean, 2 shutouts. What's up, man?
We executing. Defense and offense. Offense is putting up points, and defense is doing 3 and outs, 4 and outs, whatever we can get. So we just having fun out there.
Man, you came away after the evening, and you got some good supporting characters with you, like Larkin and Reese back there, some other guys that we could mention. But really, all eyes on Vito. A lot of the times, I know you know that. Everybody's watching you, wanting to see you out there. And you put on a show, man. 6 solos, 2 INTs, and a scoop and score. So very nice defensive game from the Purples and yourself. Vito, I saw a tweet you put out today, and I think you're okay with me talking about it. You've kind of narrowed it down, and we're getting a little away from high school. We'll gravitate back, but you kind of narrowed it down where you might be next year. I saw. Let's see. I saw UK. Well, you tell us.
Georgia, Kentucky, Alabama, and Texas A&M.
I don't know if you like Texas.
Hey, I mean, good coaching staff, man. They got an excellent coaching staff up there. All the schools do, and they're looking for a player like me.
I say a lot of people are looking for a player like Vito Tisdale, man. I mean, one thing about you is you're high octane, you're full blast, inside the whistle, inside field there. When you're on that thing, you got a different gear, Vito, and it's fun to watch out there, man. But what's football meant to you? Here we are, senior, probably my last time to get to hang out with you this year. Maybe I'll get to see you at least one more, but if it is, what's been your favorite thing about this game of football?
The adversity, how to deal with situations in life, and just bouncing back from them and becoming a better man.
And I've watched you grow since your 6th, 7th grade. You turned into a fine young man here with a lot of potential and a lot of things coming your way. But let's get through this schedule this year real quick. And what do you want to see the Purples do? And has this schedule been fun for you so far, playing some high talent?
Yeah, for certain. It gets us better every week and preparing us for the playoffs, for whatever curveballs throwing at us. And, I mean, we the best. I think we're the best in the city, so we got to play the best teams to get better.
When I first saw that schedule, I even said something to Coach about it. And he's like, what do you mean, man? I was like, I don't know. It just looks tough, man. But now I'm starting to think, man, these Louisville teams, they're crazy for scheduling the Purples.
Yeah. I mean, like what Coach said, I mean, they just a team, just a name. So we can control what happens between the lines and between the whistles, and hope we get a better outcome in every game.
Vito, it's always fun to get and hang out with you, man, and give you this awesome plaque for Culver's High School Football Player of the Week. This isn't your first, may not be your last, but I tell you, it's been great getting to cover you, man. It's been an honor, and I look forward to seeing where you take this game of football and life. Nothing but good things from what I can tell. I wanted to, before I let you get out of here, man, since you have been doing this thing since you were little, I mean, out there on, Pop Warner or whatever, since you were little, been playing this game, what's the one person, male, female, whatever, teacher, family member, who's really kind of been that one that you pick the phone up and call them first?
I mean, my dad. My dad was a famous guy, so
yes, he was. Still is.
He knows about the spotlight. So, whenever I just need advice, he helped me. But I try to find stuff out on my own. But if I need him, he's always in my corner.
Vito Tisdale right there, folks. Culver's High School Football Player of the Week. Awesome plaque there, put together by Oak Tree Awards and Recognition. Dude, listen, best of luck to you. Do your thing the rest of the season, and you're awfully fun to watch on the other side of the football. That's been my main thing this year is Vito over there doing his thing on defense. It's just amazing, and keep it up, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brian Webb here, hanging out. Bowling Green High. We'll be right back on the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Time to go home there, Bob.
I can make it across.
Well, then do it.
We got all of that. Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
Knock it on. Let her rip.
Who's in the home? By the way, what did Mr. Webb shoot this morning?
It's time for Gary on the Green. Gary on the Green is brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road and online at bowlinggreenfireplace.com. Call 270-495-1131.
And we've got him, Gary on the Green right here, brought to you by BG Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road, which adjust because there's some craziness going on over there around the hospital. Adam Gary coming off a big weekend. What's up, Coach?
Not much. Just got back late last night from the South Alabama USA Intercollegiate, so it was a good start to the season. Finished third. I'm proud of the team. We were kind of a little slow out of the gates, but then moved up 2 spots the final round. Just 5 off the lead, 1 shot out of second. So I think it was a good showing. We had a freshman really step up. Sarah Arnold killed it this week. She broke a 36-hole record, breaking Mary Joyner's record from a couple years ago. Yep. And then tied the overall record at 8 under. So, I mean, she just kind of got unlucky not to win. There's a girl from UAB that shot 12 under. She just played phenomenal. But but normally 8 under wins. So
yeah, I would say so.
I mean, I was a little bit unlucky. What do you do? I mean, you just took your cap. But she, did she get off to a great start in her career. I'm really excited to see how it goes for her the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to see, especially when you have someone break a previous record that the golfer is still on the team. That's when you know you got a good squad.
That's right. Yeah, I like that competition. I think it's going to push each other to get a little bit better and have a little camaraderie there with it. So it's only good things. I think it can only help.
No question about it, Coach. What were some of the major highlights out of that for Sarah? Certain hole. I mean, she just have like a string of birdies, or was anything crazy like that, or she just?
I think she was just steady, to be honest. I mean, she didn't have a double. Only had 1 3-putt for the week.
Wow.
Didn't have any penalty shots. It was just really clean and efficient, to be honest.
That is.
Those are the things that I like to kind of harp on, and hopefully some of that stuck a little bit. But I mean, honestly, the ball striking was just on point. I mean, she just really didn't get it out of play. So it was just a solid all around deal. I mean, she was making 3 or 4 birdies a day. I think she had 13 birdies total for the 3 rounds.
Wow.
So it's it was pretty good stuff. Pretty veteran stuff from a newcomer.
That was exactly what was on my mind. I mean, that's like battle-tested veteran there coming out of the gate. That's amazing. Good luck to the future for Sarah. My goodness, who knows what's going to go on. Coach, what's up next for the Lady Tops?
Yeah, so we only have a couple days here to turn around, and we leave for Michigan State on Friday, and then we're back for a couple days and head up to Lexington for UK's tournament. So we've got a busy 3-week stretch, but hopefully the girls can get caught up on a little bit of rest and schoolwork before we hit the road again. But yeah, so it was a good start off, and hopefully we can just kind of build on that momentum the rest of the semester.
Wow, Coach, that's good stuff, man. The mental game is so important when you're when it counts and you're out there playing for hardware. What do you tell the girls? This will be our
tip before you guys tee off like the night before? What are some things that you tell them to be ready for during wire-to-the-wire tournament golf?
Yeah, I think it's just stick with your process. I think it's don't make it bigger than it is. It's the shot's the shot. You can't let one bad swing kind of lead to another bad swing. It really is easy to say, and it's kind of cliche almost with golf, but it's hard to do, honestly, if you can kind of put what's in the past and pick out the target, and it's the target whether you're 5 over or 5 under. It's the play, whether the situation is different. I just think the more you can keep things the same and keep them consistent, the more at ease and at peace you'll be, and that's what's going to help your mental game and not get any rushes of adrenaline and mess up your timing and tempo or any of that kind of stuff.
Coach, wish we could just bottle you up, keep you in our pocket when we're playing our 18-hole matches because you're a voice of reason in the golf world. Good luck in Michigan, man.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Never belittle a shot in the middle. There's Gary on the green. Coach Adam Gary, thanks for listening to the Sports Web. We'll see you next Tuesday, ESPN 102.7.